Hey guys, welcome to Speech Bubble. I'm here with the amazing Jace Diehl.
Hey, what's up?
And I have the beautiful, lovely, and talented star from Nickelodeon and star of her own food company, Daniella Monet. Daniella.
Hi guys. I'm here. We're eating pig out chips, and they're amazing. You can get them at stores everywhere nationwide. Can you imagine that? Or go to the website and you can buy a box of 12.
But we have them here, right here, and you can't have any. Roll the theme music. All right, guys, that was our astounding theme music. We're so excited to be here. Are you excited to be here?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
For once?
Yes, because we have an awesome guest today.
We do have an awesome guest.
Yes.
Before we get to the awesome guest, though, I want to set up the awesome guest. I have to
Sure.
set this up. We don't usually get great-looking people in here.
That's true.
Usually. I mean, there's you.
I wouldn't say,
On
I
a
would say
scale
I'm
of
low on the totem pole.
Scale of 1 to 10, you're like a solid 3. There's
Thank
a
you.
3.
Wow.
There's like a 3.
I was a 2 last time.
But I'm a guy, so I'm like going. I don't judge guys at all. But you're you're on the adorable scale.
Thank you.
Yeah, but I'm talking like Hollywood movie star quality looks. That's what I'm
Yeah.
talking about here. Okay, so and by the way, I'm not even on the scale. I'm like I'm not even allowed to come near the scale of beauty. I'm
Limited
like
group.
over. Exactly. So we're really glad to we're making our podcast look better now. You ready for this?
Oh, I'm ready. I'm
Okay.
psyched.
The beautiful, lovely, and talented Daniella Monet is here. Hi, Daniella Monet.
You guys, I should have done myself.
You look fantastic. Are you kidding? How could you ever look
You know,
bad?
you hear podcasts, it's like, come in your PJs.
I know. And you actually wore yellow to stand out against the
Can
wall.
you believe this?
Isn't that cool?
This is so on brand for you.
Oh my God, I know. I
Okay.
know. It's so
You're
dope and
welcome.
fly. Is that
It's
a
the
cool hip term?
dopest, the
Dope.
flyest, the raddest.
Are you like way into like social media now?
I'm
are you
like-
like super deep in?
No.
No?
I sound like I am, but it's
Yes.
only because I want friends. Like, I want to hang out with people, but I don't actually physically want to be there. So I just use social media.
Right. We
Nice.
pretend we have friends now.
Yeah. Love having
Exactly.
lots of friends.
I heard there's like this place that has like it's an interior of an airplane. And you can like go there and take Instagram photos. Like
You're kidding.
Like you're on an airplane.
Oh,
flying
like a
private
private.
jet. Yeah, you're on a private jet.
Yeah.
You got your feet up and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they do. With
And
their
you're like in
legs.
sunglasses with
Yes,
a drink
yes,
looking
yes,
out the window,
yes.
and you're like, "Whoa, I'm."
And you're not smiling. They don't smile.
Oh no, you don't want to smile.
No.
No, you're too serious in a private jet.
Definitely
I
too
saw a
serious.
picture of The Rock the other day. You know, Dwayne Johnson. He's on this private jet, all this food, but he's really on a private jet.
I don't
'cause
know
he's-
now.
Yeah.
Maybe
Who
not.
knows?
I don't know.
Maybe not. Well, let's get into Daniella Monet. Thank you for coming in.
Thanks for having
I'm
me.
but I know not many people may know this, but I know, well, maybe some people do. I met you on the set of before the Fairly OddParents movie, the very first one we did. I met you at the audition,
Yeah.
and you were late for the audition.
Oh, I don't even remember.
But
I'm sure I was.
But it wasn't your fault because.
What was it?
Well, no, we called you in for the audition for the Fairly Odd movie, Grow Up Timmy Turner.
Yes.
And how old? This was back in 2010. So how
Yeah.
old were you then?
I was like 20 years old.
20 years old, my gosh.
Yeah.
So I remember they kept saying, because we had Drake Bell as Timmy Turner.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, cool, Drake Bell. And Drake was there. So Drake comes in to read with you because we'd already cast Drake. And you were called for the audition, but you thought it was at like 4.
Oh, okay.
And they wanted you at 2 o'clock or something.
okay.
So I'm thinking 2 o'clock.
He's
going,
scarred for life, by the way.
Yeah,
He's
so
like,
apparently
No,
you
I'm
know
not.
every detail.
No, I just don't do much, so it all is very fresh. I don't do anything. It's not like I do a million movies. Like, oh, what movie was that? And I'm like,
right.
The one movie.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
did.
oh no.
No, so I'm like, she's supposed to be here at 2, and I had never met you. So
Oh,
in my head, I'm
no.
going, wow, this girl's
This is
late.
a bad
Oh, no.
impression.
Not boding very well. And anyway, but you were so sweet. You showed up, and you were very upset when you showed up.
Oh, I'm sure I
You were
was.
sad
I'm
you were
very
late.
weird about being late.
I don't blame you. I don't
Yeah.
blame you. Yeah, you're like, I was born 3 weeks early. I'm exactly the same way. I'm like always early. But like, yeah, you were like late, but you were so sweet, and we were like, oh my God, she's so cute and she's so
Oh,
sad. And
gosh.
yeah,
Is it?
yeah. But I took you on as like my own daughter because like you're like my daughter. You're a little older than my daughter now, but
yeah.
still like.
It was like the 3 of us, like stacked in a row.
Yeah, because it was you, and
Yeah.
then of course my daughter Carly and Sophia.
Yeah.
They're like, I think Carly's 23, so
Yeah.
you're like 7 years older than her.
Yep.
But still, like I think of you as my daughter because you were like this little girl I saw grow up on set. It was so
Yeah.
cool.
We had a good time.
Now,
for
what
sure.
were you doing at Nick when we kind of put you on the Fairly OddParents movie? What were you doing at the time?
I was on Victorious at the time.
Right.
Yeah.
That was
so my
overlapped,
schedule.
both those movies?
Yeah.
Wow, cool.
Yeah.
was that your
so
first
huge.
Nick show? Your first Nick thing?
My first Nick series regular. Yeah, I had done, I think the first show that I did on Nickelodeon was Zoe 101. And then after that.
was there something called Unfabulous or
Yeah,
something?
that was with Emma Roberts.
That was Emma Roberts.
Yeah.
That was okay. There's Unfabulous.
Yeah.
Around the same time.
Jace,
too.
Jace. I knew all the girl shows.
Yeah.
Come
Oh
on,
yeah,
right?
Duh.
I know
that's
all
not
of
a girl
those.
show. I watched Unfabulous.
It was
Zoe 101.
fabulously unfabulous.
Come on,
Come on.
seriously.
Right. But you
Yeah.
were on the best one, Victorious, right? Was
I'd
it the
say.
best? There you go.
I'd say.
Do you know how many Nickelodeon shows you've been on so far?
I have
or
no
productions?
idea.
Okay. I'm gonna run them all down so the audience knows.
Wow.
Everyone you've been
Jace,
on.
okay, no, Jace has this.
You've been on 20.
20?
Overall.
You've been on 20 shows?
These are guest appearances
Right.
or series regulars or
Reoccurring or whatever.
recurring, or even
Yeah.
I have like
Let's
the Kids'
hear.
Choice Awards. I counted that
Okay,
too.
perfect.
Are these in order?
No.
Okay.
This is in a random order. I don't know
Okay.
why. Okay, we have.
Well, that doesn't help. We
Yes.
read them anyway. It's
This
fine.
is crazy.
Read them up. Zoe 101.
Yeah.
Right.
Victorious. iCarly. Nikki, Ricky, Dickie, and Dawn. Paradise Run.
That's
Figure
5.
It Out. Super Ninjas. Winx Club. Lip Sync Battle Shorties. Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards. Teen Nick Halo Awards. Nickelodeon Sizzling Summer Camp Special. Nickelodeon's Worldwide Day of Play. Fred 2 Night of the Living Fred. Fred 3 Camp Fred. Fred the Show. Cousins for
I'm
Life.
getting exhausted.
A Fairly Odd Movie. Fairly Odd Christmas. A Fairly Odd Summer.
Yeah! Big round of applause is happening. That's amazing.
Yeah, I've
What was
had
the
a
thing-
fun time.
Now, I take full credit for introducing you to Hawaii.
Oh!
I take full credit.
Well, you should take full credit for Nickelodeon ever shooting in Hawaii because that was the
Thank
first
you.
time.
That was
then
the
you
first
did
time, right?
Yeah.
Paradise Run after that, right?
Yes, and that was
That's
the
what it was
second
called.
time, and I almost think they'll never go back.
No, what was great about that, we had a different producer person on the first Fairly Odd movie.
Yeah.
And on the Christmas movie. And this person was, let go. And then had that person been on the third movie, I don't think we would have gone to
No.
Hawaii.
Yeah.
The person would have made us stay in Hawaii, in LA.
In
but,
Vancouver.
in Vancouver. But the new
opposite.
person was like, yeah, we're going to Hawaii.
I
So it
love
was
it.
so cool. I know. Wasn't that fun in Hawaii?
Oh,
though?
the best.
Oh
Like
my
I had
gosh.
the best time.
It was so cool. And
Yeah.
it was and not only to get to go there, but to like get paid to go there.
Oh, it was the
so fun.
best.
And our set was like the hotel.
It was awesome.
So we'd go
and that
to-
hotel is gorgeous.
Yeah, it
I
was-
went back recently and I just had all the feels. And
The
I
Turtle
thought,
Bay
yeah.
Resort, I know. And what time of year was it?
When was this? This was not that long ago, maybe 6 months ago.
Were the waves really high or were they really small waves?
Small.
That's
I
like
remember.
wintertime waves are smaller, but
Yeah.
like for some reason, like toward closer to the summer, the waves way out in the distance are really
Yeah.
huge. You're like, wow, we're really close to
Yeah,
the water here.
we
yeah.
sure are.
But
Yeah.
the Turtle Bay Resort.
Oh, and all that property that we filmed on and
my
the trees and like everything
know.
about that experience was just a blast. And Drake never left.
Drake never left.
Oh,
now,
yeah,
now tell me
I
now,
heard that.
Drake. I remember Drake went into the lounge, and they were
Oh, and
having
he
like
was doing this. Yeah.
yeah, they were having like a
Open
an
mic.
amateur open mic night, right? So you have like Bill from Iowa
Yeah.
telling jokes, and Shelly from like Poughkeepsie doing like a harmonica, and Drake Bell, professional musician, gets up there and plays guitar and kills it, and
Kills
he won.
It. Oh, of course he won.
And he won, and he got like a free
He got
trip.
free stay.
Yeah,
They hooked him up after that.
Yeah,
I don't think
yeah.
they ever wanted him to leave. They were like, we can have like a show here for you.
I know all the
Bell
time.
performance.
And he stayed what, another month?
No, he stayed because I remember getting a text from an unknown number. I don't know if he lost his phone or something, or maybe
I'm
I didn't
sure-
even.
I'm
Something
sure
happened
he lost
where
his
there was some
phone,
weird
yeah.
number that texted me, and it was like, I'm celebrating Halloween in Hawaii, and he knows I love Halloween, and I think he was like, and it was Drake, and I'm like, oh, how funny. Next one is like, oh, happy Thanksgiving from Hawaii, aloha, and I'm like, are you ever coming back? Yeah,
That is such a
he
beautiful
met
place.
the hula girl.
Oh,
It was a hula girl from our movie.
Oh, that's
From what I
right.
remember.
That's right.
Yeah.
I want you to know I didn't go near the hula girls. I want
No,
everyone
yeah.
to know
Neither
this.
did I, unfortunately.
I was a very, very responsible dad. I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
everybody, stay away. Don't put that
Stay
down.
away from the hula girls.
I know.
You-
It's weird. You get to a certain age, you like become dad guy. You're like,
Yeah,
don't touch
I feel
that.
like a dad.
You
I'm
guys
like,
getting
don't.
to sleep? No, we'll talk about that in a moment. What were you gonna say?
Oh, I was gonna say I was actually on set for Fairly Odd Christmas for like a
Aw.
week, which was awesome. But one of my favorite things was Butch offset being Cosmo, Wanda, and Poof.
Yeah.
So what was that like?
Doing
So
the
good
voices.
at it.
Doing the
What was that
voice.
like having the fake CGI characters with Butch as the voice off screen, and also having Drake Bell at the same time? Like,
Well, the
was that
CGI
hard?
characters, like, they only put the little, like, puppets in for, like, a second to, like, set the frame, and
Okay.
then, like, they disappear, and you just have to imagine them.
And I would stand off set.
Yeah.
So you're not
doing
even
the
looking at
voices.
anything.
No, you're not looking at anything, which is kind of nice because you can kind of direct where you want them to be. You know what I
Okay,
mean? Like,
yeah.
your eye contact is kind of what determines where they're going to
floating.
be. Yeah,
They're
they're
floating.
floating, so they do what they
And
want.
the weird thing is, like, they had like a CGI guy
Yeah.
on the set, right? And he would be the guy who would. They had like this ball, like it was like a chrome ball.
Yes, that
And they would always hold
so
the ball up
Yeah.
to get reflections of all the light, and everybody would
Yeah.
go ball, 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 ball. Yeah, and then it was kind of weird because then we'd have to put the CGI characters in afterwards. So my job wasn't even done. You guys finished shooting.
No,
I had to go
forever
back
in
into the
post.
studio and see all that post stuff, which
Yeah.
is kind of interesting.
And since you were already part of the Nickelodeon family, did you know Drake already going into it?
Yes. I want to say that well, to be honest, honest, that chemistry read, that first audition was probably the first time I
The
ever
day
really.
you were late.
Yeah, the day I was late.
Which you didn't mean to be. I want everyone to know I wasn't blaming you for being late. I felt bad that you were late.
Oh my gosh, I feel bad now.
No,
Ugh,
but you were just great, and you were so
Thank
professional at
you.
that young age. Still,
Thank you.
well, you're still very young. But I mean, you were 20.
Yeah.
And had so much experience already. But who'd you play in the movie?
I played Tootie.
Tootie, that's right.
Oh,
and I'm so
that's
glad
fun.
it was you because I
Thank
came.
you.
The character of Tootie isn't even that big in the show of Fairly
I
Odd
know.
Parents. But then to make her like this major character in the show
know.
was so cool.
Were you familiar with
so
Tootie
fun.
beforehand?
Yeah, I was.
She's the exact opposite.
Of course. Well, no, I got to do a little flashback
Yeah,
of
that's
like the
right.
old Tootie. So I had the braces and the
I
outfit and the
remember
whole
that.
thing.
They
yeah.
actually dressed you up like her for one shot.
Which was so fun because I remember back then it was like a big thing to have the doppelganger on Facebook or whatever, like your lookalike.
Yeah.
So I used like the old like cartoon animated Tootie version as my Facebook like
Nice.
profile
Right.
pic for a while.
And then we actually got to act together in a scene.
We
that
did.
movie. I
Yes,
know. Remember that scene?
yeah.
We were doing a scene with Jason Alexander, who
Yeah.
you knew.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
pulled a little
George
string.
from Seinfeld. Yeah, you pulled a little cloud. You got
Yeah.
George to be Cosmo, and then Cheryl Hines
But
from.
that
Yeah.
was because of you he was in it?
I mean, I called him. I just was like, I think they were trying to get him to play Cosmo at the time, or it was a
Right.
name that they had in
It was
mind.
like a 2-day shoot for him.
Yeah, it
to
was like
come
super
up
easy, and I was
make
like,
$1 million.
Dad.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
But
awesome.
he came up, and then he was such a great guy. And then Cheryl Hines from Curb Your Enthusiasm
Oh,
played
so
Wanda.
good.
And we had one scene to shoot in a restaurant.
Yeah.
And it was where you get spaghetti and sauce spilled on you. And we had to shoot the scene. And in fact, I was the waiter. I wrote myself in as a waiter. I had like 2 lines or 1 line. I remember my line. It was 1 word. Maniacs! I said, I'm sorry, madame. Maniacs! But we had to shoot it like 1 in the morning. It was pitch black. We'd shot all day. And we had one chance to get the take right. Because if we didn't get it right,
Yeah.
they had to clean
a
you
whole
up.
reset.
It would take you like 2 hours to go. So we're like, we must get this shot. So we did. We got it one take,
Yeah.
which was fun. And the way they lit the restaurant was cool because it looks like it's daytime.
Oh, it was
It's the
beautiful.
magic of movies.
It really
Jace.
is. That whole movie was magical.
It was very
Truth
fun.
be told, it's
Did
a
you have a
magical
good time?
movie. Oh, the best time. Some
Did
of
you
the
ever see
best
the
memories
final-
I
did you see the
have.
final
of
movie?
course.
Oh, good.
And
Okay,
I'm not
good.
even big on watching. I mean, not that I'm not that person who's like, oh, I won't watch anything I'm in. It's not that. It's just I end up forgetting or missing it or whatever. But the movies never. It was always a thing. And
right.
still to this day, Christmas comes around, and that's
There
like my
it
claim
is.
to a holiday
Yeah.
movie right now.
That's
That's
on every
it.
year, right? On
And
Nickelodeon.
everyone gets excited about it.
Now you were such a trooper in that one, and I think everybody was a trooper
Oh,
in
that
movie.
weather.
We shot. we shot the Fairly Odd Christmas movie on the top of a mountain in Vancouver.
Yeah.
And seriously, it was like 4 feet of snow, and like what was it, like 10 below zero every day?
And yeah, no sun, no nothing. I'm
She
from
looked
LA.
great though. I'm not even joking. She looked great. She looked amazing. And she had to
The
interact.
movie was beautiful.
It looked great.
The colors, like my outfit. Sorry,
I know.
but I just love my outfit.
No, your
my
orange and the
jacket,
orange
my
jacket.
gold pants.
Yeah.
Like, to have to wear one outfit in a whole, like the whole movie is never ideal. Like you're just like, why? There's nothing interesting about this anymore. But I loved that outfit.
Oh, it was so cartoony.
I loved it.
Well, that was kind of cool because I know you didn't see a lot of the wide shots. Maybe you did when some movie was done.
Yeah.
But we had you and Drake is in a pink jacket, and then you had Christmas Carol, this little elf girl,
Yeah.
and Dingle Dave.
yeah.
And these people weren't technically quote unquote little people, but they were the shortest people I've ever seen. They
Yeah.
were very small little people, but they were so entertaining. I wish I remember their names. I'm
Devin and
It was
TJ.
Devin and was it TJ?
No, it was it was like he had a cool name because he was a rapper too. So
Yeah,
I'm like
yeah.
getting
Oh,
confused. I forget
a
what
rapper?
his
Rapping elf?
He played
That's the
Dingle
best.
Dave.
Yeah.
And he had a voice like this.
Yeah,
Hey,
they were
man.
both so cool. Like
They
I
were very
actually
nice people.
became friends with Devin for a while. I remember
Devin
visiting her.
wasn't she like a stunt woman or something?
She's an everything woman. I follow her on Facebook, and she's just like she just was in full prosthetics for some movie. Like she does it all. She's cool.
And then we had to get like I remember we had like 30 kids dressed as elves.
Yeah.
We had to bring them up on the hill.
Yeah.
they had to
Oh
put-
my
They
gosh.
had to put ears on them. Remember?
Wait,
It was
also out in the snow?
freezing.
Wow.
Like
With all the
so freezing that they had a doctor come up and give us B12 butts in our B12 butts.
B12 butts.
B12 shots in our butt.
Did they really give you shots?
Yeah,
Oh
they
my
had. I don't know
gosh.
who asked for it or what, but next thing you know, there was a doctor that was literally in my dressing room. Give me
you
a little
shot,
B12
I see.
shot.
Here's the thing: as a producer, I never got a B12 shot, so no, they didn't care about us apparently.
Oh my gosh,
Apparently
you were
not.
just out there to fend for yourself.
I really was.
Was your dressing room heated at least?
Oh, my dressing room was gangster.
Oh, sweet.
It
There
had a
you go.
fireplace. It was
Yeah, yeah.
gorgeous.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
it was so
they
cozy.
got it all up on top of the hill. It was
Oh
amazing
my
what
gosh,
these people
all
do.
of it.
Exactly.
There was a guy though. There was a crew guy that his truck went off the mountain?
Yep, they were coming down the hill one night after the shoot.
Yeah.
And it was the prop truck.
Okay.
And they were coming down the hill, and it was night, and it was like they couldn't see, and the truck slid off. And it wasn't just like sliding off straight off the road. It went like down a cliff, and the trees stopped it. Yeah, and you're like, what the heck? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what you
So
do
we
in
shot
that
for
moment.
2 weeks on the mountain, and then we went down to a sound stage where there was warmth and,
was
a,
glorious.
and a roof. We're like, oh my God, this is so nice.
It was
Elmer
such a
the
treat.
Elder Elf, right?
Yeah.
That's the part I was at. That was
Yeah,
amazing
yeah.
set.
Those
Tony
and,
Cox.
and the
Yeah, he's so
Santa
good.
Claus like North Pole set was amazing
Tony
too.
Cox.
Wait, remember him? Tony Cox was very amazing.
Yeah.
But he's a very tiny guy. I mean,
Yeah,
but he
yeah.
was in that movie Bad Santa.
Yes,
but,
I remember.
But what a sweetheart of a guy.
He's so nice.
And I did such a great job. And then, gosh, we had reindeer. We had those reindeer.
Yes. Yes.
Here's Hollywood for you, okay?
All right, let's
even
hear
though
it.
even though it's by way of Vancouver, I write a scene where Mr. Crocker becomes an elf and he has to shovel reindeer poop, and they go, "Yeah, we got some reindeer, but it's the time of year when the reindeer's horns fall off."
Oh, right.
So we had hornless reindeer, and then they had to CGI horns onto the
oh my
reindeer.
gosh, I didn't even know that.
Is that bizarre?
That is very
It's
bizarre.
like, why even get real reindeer? Just CGI
Yeah.
the whole
Yeah.
reindeer.
CGI the whole thing. Save the reindeer.
By the way, reindeer are very ugly. By the way, they were not
Oh.
attractive animals.
Oh.
They had these big weird little paws. They
Yeah.
weren't like great looking like we are. I'm saying we're like
Right.
great,
Yeah.
there's a great
right.
looking
They looked
table
more
here.
like
Hold on,
reindeer.
They look more like reindeer, and they
Yeah.
smelled like reindeer too.
Okay.
Exactly. But then Savage Steve Holland directed our movies for us. He directed the first one. He did all 3 of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Savage was in here, and you got along great with Savage, didn't you?
Love Savage.
Savage was
I
the coolest guy.
wish I haven't worked with him since, but I wish for more
Well,
opportunities.
thank God you haven't. It's been bad. It's been very embarrassing for some.
Is his directing as big as his personality?
Yeah, and it's just so much fun. Like,
Mm.
I mean, I think back and it's like 20 shows, right, with Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of different experiences, a lot of different people you work with. Savage was like honestly one of the more fun.
Hey, Daniella, can we do that? Can we
the
try this over
best.
here? Hey, can we try this? Can you? Yeah, okay. And go over where the bad people are.
And
go to where
he's
the bad.
funny.
He's so
and
funny.
He gets it. Like,
so funny.
like the fact that he's not a famous star is like ridiculous.
I know. We have to make him that way. How do we do
Well,
this?
I
How
don't
do we,
know.
How do we make Savage
Does he have an
famous?
Instagram? We'll start there.
No,
needs one.
that
He
means
needs one.
that's like technology and
I
things
see.
that where
No,
button,
Savage doesn't do technology.
no button pushing.
Come
No. He can
on.
open a door. I know
yeah,
that.
he can open a door.
That's
Some
Open a
people
talent.
door.
do
That's
that.
talent right
He can
there.
open cans. I've seen him open cans.
Oh, good. So
Yeah.
he's not going to starve.
No, he won't starve. He won't starve.
real.
And he can exit and enter, and he can open cans.
No way.
all-
We can write a role for that.
That's all I've seen.
Yeah.
But he's a great writer too.
Oh,
He improved
I bet.
lots of things in the script and everything.
Yeah.
So we had to write that Christmas movie because that one producer I mentioned
Yes.
made us all. I'd written a whole draft of the script that I liked, and Savage liked it, and then this producer was like, "No, we're all going to rewrite it right here in the room." And we had to sit there for 2 weeks and rewrite the script in the room, all of us.
Nah.
Yeah. So and then we had the great Mark Gibbon as Jorgen von Strangle. Remember all that? Very fun. Yeah,
And
very fun.
freaking David, what's his last name that played Mr. Crocker?
David
He's
Lewis.
honest.
David
David Lewis.
Lewis.
He's honestly, again, I'm going to bring
Oh,
up
yeah.
Facebook. He's the funniest person on my friends list. The funniest to this day. And I see him in everything. He's in so much.
He's in tons of,
always working.
and he's got
But
red
he's
hair.
so funny. And he has red
He
hair.
has red hair. He has dark hair as Mr. Crocker, but he has red hair.
He was the perfect
he's hysterical.
Crocker.
No, he's
So
he's literally plucked out of the freaking
When
show.
I saw his audition, I remember there were like 30 people to watch, and he was the first one I watched.
No.
Yeah, and I was like, that's the guy. I
Yes!
said, he's him. I said, if someone's better than him, and there was not even anybody close.
No!
I'm like, he looks like him. He sounds like, yeah, it was so funny. Oh my God, I know.
Oh, it makes me so happy.
So you had the first movie we did.
Yeah.
The great thing about the second movie that I thought was fun was I was like, wow, this is a sequel to a successful movie that we made. You know, we kind of had a little more leverage. We had a little more sway. Not a ton. It wasn't like we were like,
Well, listen, Crafty like stepped it up a notch. I
yeah.
noticed. I was like, ooh.
we had
okay.
better
Here we
food.
go.
Yeah, we had
Great
better food. Yeah, better food.
Progressively better.
Now, speaking of food, let's talk about your food. Now,
Yeah.
you amaze me
Thank
because this isn't even like a discipline where it's hard for you. Like
No.
you're a full-on raw vegan, right?
Not raw.
Not
vegan.
raw. Weren't you raw before?
I was raw, which was a bad time because I remember being raw on the freaking mountain. The cold. That was the movie that I decided I'm going to do this raw thing and like step up my health game and this and that. And I did it with the help of obviously everyone
Every
because
human
there
around
was
you.
literally the best raw food. I don't know where it came from, but I guess the producer was also trying to do Raw at that time.
Yep,
So like
yep.
it was fine. She like made it all happen.
Yep.
But no, I've been vegan for almost 20 years
That's
now.
amazing. I know.
Yeah.
I know.
And vegetarian since I was like 5.
And you haven't eaten meat since you were 5.
No.
Amazing.
Not that I know of.
No, well, but still though. I mean, but it's like just a way of life for you. It's not even like me at age like in my 50s here. I'd be like, well, I'm gonna go vegan. It would be a real struggle for me. I would imagine if I didn't get my mindset straight.
It's so different now, though. Imagine, like, 20 years ago was a different story. Now it's like you say you're vegan, people are like, "Oh, here, it's an option."
Oh, here, yeah.
Back then it was like, and you,
what
do you?
I was gonna say there are like vegan restaurants and gluten-free restaurants.
Totally.
20 years ago, was there anything?
Ish. Like I grew up out here in the valley, so there was like one that was like
Okay.
the staple. It was called Follow Your Heart, and that was about it.
Mm-hmm.
Now they are a big, like, widely known food.
this
company.
podcast is gluten free. I want you to know that.
Oh, it's gluten free. Are you guys
vegan.
gluten free?
No, not at all. But
Oh,
the podcast itself is gluten free. Yeah.
Oh, that's
when
good
you
for
watch
its
or
health.
hear speech bubble, you will get no gluten at all.
Yeah.
We'll
Oh,
make sure.
that's for everyone listening.
Yeah, aren't you
For their
excited?
ears, like the benefit
Yeah.
you guys are really good about.
You're on YouTube too. They're seeing you on
Oh,
YouTube.
and
as
YouTube.
well.
Look at that.
There we are on the
everybody.
YouTube.
Oh my God, on the YouTube.
So let's go back. So when did you start acting? How old were you?
Probably about like 7 or 8.
Was that your decision, or did your parents like throw you in?
No, I actually.
We're gonna make millions off this kid.
Right?
Yeah.
No, I grew up in LA, so it was kind of common for other people to like audition, at that age, and
Yeah.
I did it as a hobby.
You
So
have
like
a good personality.
I was so outgoing. I pray that I don't have a kid as outgoing as I
We're
was.
gonna talk about that because you're carrying a child right now. Are
There's
you
one
not?
in there.
One's that.
Apparently one in
Congratulations, by
there.
the way.
Yeah,
Now,
thank
how,
you.
how far along are you now?
I'm 5 months.
Wow. By the time this airs, 4
Oh
months
my
from
gosh,
now, I'm
weird.
kidding. Do you know it's gonna be a boy or a girl yet? You can't
We're
tell
gonna
yet.
find out in like moments, like literally this weekend is the goal.
Oh,
yeah?
seriously?
Yeah. And we could have found out. I mean, we've had this envelope hiding in our house that I've hid for like 3 months, but I just said, no, I want to wait. Like, I want to be like really pregnant. And so I waited.
So you're gonna look. You're gonna peek inside the Christmas present, aren't you?
I am, yeah.
Now, I have 2 daughters. My first daughter, we didn't know at all.
You didn't?
We didn't know. That was the day of birth. We found out
Aw.
and that was actually really kind of cool because nobody knew. And then I walked
Yeah.
out. Once we'd had the baby, I walked out and the baby had a pink hat on. Everybody just flipped
Flipped
out.
out.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. And then my second baby, we totally looked. It was like, okay, So, but you're gonna do. What do you want, boy or girl?
So I've been really like boy driven because I grew up with a lot of boys. I have a younger brother,
Right.
and I just feel very comfortable with boys. But
Yeah. You feel
now
comfortable
that
now.
I've,
Jason and I are boys. You feel
yeah,
comfortable.
I'm like in my element.
Okay,
right?
good.
Excellent.
Very cool.
Yeah, this
very
is
cool.
working.
Jace, just stay over here.
Just
Got
stay
it.
over there.
There's
Be
Yeah.
polite,
And I'll stay
Jace.
over
Be
there.
polite, Jace.
Yeah.
Yes.
But since I've sort of like wrapped my head up on this like boy world now,
Yeah.
I'm like, if it's a girl, what a fun little like
Oh,
turn of
yeah.
events.
Oh, if you had a girl, well, I was expecting a boy, my first one, because I have 3 brothers raised by my father. I have all boy cousins. I have like all brothers and all boy cousins. I'm like, I've got to have a boy. And then I had my
Right.
first girl, and I was like, what do I do?
Oh no.
I didn't even know. And my wife comes from a family of 3 sisters.
Oh my
all
gosh, you guys are like
girls.
the Brady Bunch.
Yeah, exactly. We're like, what are we gonna have? So then I had nothing but girls. I'm not manly enough to produce a boy, apparently. So I just every. But I love my daughters.
you're such
but
a good girl dad.
Oh, thank you. But the second the baby's born, you're like, oh, okay, got it.
Yeah.
And the love just hits. Like when Jace was born, I wasn't there.
Right.
But when
You
Jace
can
entered-
imagine.
When Jace entered my life, I wanted
Yeah.
to put him in football. I
I was
to put
born
him
again.
Oh.
Yeah, you were exactly. I have a picture I want to show you of Jace after the podcast.
Okay.
Where Jace is 3 years old, dressed up like a hamburger.
You
And you're
are like a dad.
Where's your Instagram?
You're like, oh, I have my photo album.
No,
with
where's your
pictures
go?
of Jace.
Show her your Instagram. I mean, go to your Instagram. I'm
He's
going to
like-
show this to you. You got to
Right.
see Jace. Oh,
There
there
it
he
is.
is. There he is.
Oh,
Look
he has
at-
it like queued up as his
He's a
background.
There it is.
hamburger. There he
Oh,
is.
that's great.
Come
Katy
on,
Perry.
look at him.
Listen,
Met
Is he
Gala.
cute? Look at that. There's
imagine,
Jace, little Jace.
Imagine having a Jace, you
I
know?
never, but I never saw. You're a Big Mac.
Yeah,
right.
specifically a Big Mac.
Hey,
Well,
Big
I
Mac.
she copied my Metcalf look
which
right
you've
there.
never had because it's not vegan. There
No.
you go.
Yes.
Now, what do you do with the eating? Do you make your own food and bring it with you all the time? Is that kind of what you do, or there's tons of options now out here, especially in
Tons
LA?
of options. Yes, but obviously on sets too, they're very accommodating these days. Like everyone's, I'm not the only vegan, which is like the weirdest feeling in the world. You
That's
walk on
gotta
set and
be
they're
weird.
like, oh yeah, she's vegan, he's vegan.
Right.
But I love to cook, so that's always my preference.
Got it.
I prefer my food.
Got it. Now the man in your life, is he
Yeah.
a vegan as well?
No, have you not met? You've met Andrew. He's been in
A long-
Canada
but
a long time ago.
But this was 10 years ago.
This was so long ago,
time
yeah.
ago. Yeah. All I know about Andrew is this: he's better looking than me, and he's taller than me. That's all I know. So when I see
Okay.
people like that, I go like, I don't want to talk to this person. I'm just
Oh
joking.
my god! You know what's so funny? funny is when I saw a picture of him because we were set up through a friend.
Oh, really?
And I was talking to him. I saw a picture of him.
You said he's better looking than Butch Hartman, so
No,
I'm in.
and
That's what
that
you said.
came up, and it just was we bonded.
Right.
No, but I just was like almost myself intimidated. I was just like, like I'm not gonna like you, like
Right.
I don't want to like you because like you just look like you're not gonna have it together in
You're
a
too
lot of
great
ways.
looking.
Like I'm just not into that.
I
Sort
said
of
that
thing.
about Jace too. He's too great looking. I can't be around him.
I had to
Yeah.
really convince you.
No, so
You
this has
did the
been
job.
10. Now I remember it's been about 10 years.
We've been we were talking for a while before we met. Like we literally courted each other for like 3-4 months. Talk, got to know each other, very old school.
Yep.
And then he was in school and then he moved to LA. And what he tells his, I guess, family that I didn't know is like he felt like he like connected with me and that I was going to be his wife or whatever. So he moved to LA with the hopes of like us hitting it off. We met within the first like week of him being here, and I had never had a boyfriend prior to that. And that was it.
So he's the first man and like first serious man date in your life. Wow.
Yeah, first one I gave the title to and said, "You're my boyfriend." Like I've never said it in my life.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, I
Yeah.
remember you guys on the beach in Hawaii. I remember
Oh,
he
yeah.
came to Hawaii.
Oh,
'cause
that
he
was we were
there.
so new. We were like in the honeymoon phase. I'm like, everywhere I go, you have to be there.
Yeah, yeah. Well, he
Well, that
was.
must've been
Yeah,
cool.
I
He was
remember
there!
He was there. We were.
Well, Hawaii. All right, I'll
He
be
was
there.
there.
That's awesome.
I was like, I'm going to Hawaii. You're coming.
Yeah.
He's like,
He's like, do I have to?
yeah.
It was like he was there with you so much. It was like, Danielle, we have to shoot now.
Oh,
it's
beyond.
like, okay. It was
I
like,
had that
yeah.
problem.
It was like you need to walk over there.
Admittedly, I was the most annoying codependent human for like, and it wasn't like, it was like not what normal would people would be like, oh, a few months here and there. Even the first few weeks, people were like, oh, you're really obsessing, like put your phone down.
Yep.
For like 3-4 years, I was like, heart racing, like couldn't
get enough.
I couldn't be away for very long. Like it was not healthy. But now I'm like, you too, you boo.
Right now, you guys married yet?
No, we're not married.
Is that happening like
No,
soon?
it's actually not. So we got engaged like over a year and a half
so you're
ago.
engaged, though.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
good.
We've been engaged and we've been together for a long time. Both come from, divorced families. I was always like, no rush. I'm not really into like the whole like
Right.
big wedding thing. So like I'll get
I'm
engaged.
surprised by that. I thought you'd
Yeah.
be like totally into like having a very cool wedding. You're going to have a super cool wedding. You know,
One
you are.
day, but
that I will be invited to.
Yep. And the thing
Yeah.
is with me, I want to have a wedding super untraditional, but I want my kids to be there. I really want
interesting.
them to see, like, I want them to see the marriage. I want to see, I want them to see love. I want them to see, that's very important to me in our relationship. Because I feel like,
interesting.
back in the day, a lot of people just sort of, I don't know, my parents specifically, I felt like I didn't ever really see like what marriage was, and I want to redefine that in my life. And I'm like, I'm excited to rewrite the rules a little bit.
Okay, good.
So this is all like part of my big plan.
You have a
I
master
I said,
plan. yes.
listen, I look like I'm a kid, put a ring on it, and then we'll talk about kids, and then we'll plan the wedding.
Wow.
And so it's all kind of coming
Very
together.
cool. So Andrew's not a vegan.
No, so to answer your
So
question,
how does this work then?
Oh, yeah.
He makes a steak next to you. Can you
No,
handle it?
he doesn't. It's so funny. He's very accommodating and he understands. He's been to so many of these galas and events and like knows all this stuff about animals and watches videos, whatever. But when we're at home, our home is vegan. In the last like 2 years, I'd say it went completely vegan, and he's completely supportive of that. We've talked about raising like our kids vegan, obviously to the extent I'm not going to like force them to do something that they're completely against.
I know a
but-
lady who just had a recent baby, but her baby before this one, he's like about 4 or 5 years old now. Never had meat in his life. He's always been fed vegetables.
Cool.
And fruit. Yeah. So
Yeah,
it's kind of
I mean,
interesting.
it's pretty common for kids just organically to eat that way, and then whatever. When they make up their own mind and they're old enough to decide what.
Sure.
But I want them to understand where it comes from, at least. Like I wish that was the conversation my parents had before I found out.
Well, it was a whole different way of life back then.
Yeah,
That's true.
Yeah,
You know?
totally.
When I was a kid, we had to kill our own food.
Well, then at least you knew where it came
knew where
from.
it
You
came
could have
from.
the understanding.
There was a sense of pride. I killed this and no, I'm just kidding.
Did you live in BC era or?
Yeah, I was like a Fred Flintstone car.
Okay, got
My
it.
feet
Yeah,
were the power
makes
source.
sense.
Barney,
Cute.
exactly.
Aw.
No, but that's really cool that he supports that. But you said,
Yeah.
does he eat any meat at all?
He does,
Fish
but
or
he
chicken,
calls
eggs?
himself a conscious consumer. He's
okay.
a conscious eater. So he's pretty selective, and I think around me he's a lot more mindful. Like he'll give me the look, or he'll like whisper his order, and then he's like, I just wanted to get something. And I'm like, okay. But for the most part, he actually enjoys eating the way that I
Well, because
eat.
you look amazing. So
Thank you.
I've met a lot of people that are quote unquote vegetarians or vegan, and sometimes they look a little thin, they look a little emaciated.
Never been my problem.
I know. Where do you get your protein
go.
from? Where do you get your protein
Oh,
from?
I love that question. I eat like a ton of beans and grains and nut butters and lots of leafy greens. The
Like
darker the
cashews?
green.
You like cashews?
Sure, but we make like cashew milk, and like I don't literally shove just a bunch of like cashews. I'm not like that person. I'm not literally like a little squirrel. Like
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I just eat, like normal food. But like if I eat a lasagna, it just happens to be vegan, and has sort of the same amount of like
pizza,
protein and
vegan
nutrients.
pizza.
Sure.
There's got to be some good vegan pizza.
Tons.
How about ice cream?
Yes,
Tons of
all
great
the
ice cream.
things.
All
Are
the
you kidding?
things. I
I
eat
never
all the
say no to
things.
vegan food. All food.
Well,
Yeah.
you've turned veganism?
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, veganism.
Okay,
Sure.
you turned that into a business
Yeah.
with Pig Out. Right?
Yep.
Now explain
what
that.
that is?
I didn't even know this. You have a business?
I've got businesses.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness, businesses
I know.
plural.
Yeah,
Well, give me
it's
the.
been a lot. So about
What's the
4
first one?
years ago, height of like the Nickelodeon world, we bought our first home, and I was really big on investing. I was taking real estate courses, got my license, and I just thought, what can I do to make a big impact in the vegan space, because I'm so passionate about it. So I was lucky enough to receive a call from a guy that I used to work with when I was a waitress back in the day, and he was the chef, and he was approached by an investor to create a new restaurant. We were like all on board to do it. It was going to be in West Hollywood on Sunset. And
wow.
then shortly after, we're like, well, he's got, the brain, he's an absolute genius. He helped develop Beyond Meat. Like he's massive in the vegan community.
Wow.
So we're like, why don't we do a product line? So they started this product line. So been in development for a long time. And finally we're in stores everywhere nationwide.
Wow.
Wow, that's so exciting.
yeah.
What is the name of the product line?
It's called the company's called Outstanding Foods. The idea is that we'll have, everything you could ever
This
need.
is your company.
I'm just an investor. I was one of the first investors.
Right,
So it's
right,
me and, go to like Rob Dyrdek and every other celebrity now that's jumped on board. So
Okay,
it's like a
right.
huge amount of like really successful, innovative people. We've got people from Shark Tank that have invested since then. Like it's
Wow,
been
that
insane.
sounds pretty amazing. Did you go on Shark Tank?
I didn't know, but
Did these guys go on Shark Tank? Or did they
no,
they just found out about
no,
it?
they got a call
Wow.
from
From the Shark Tank people.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, so we're in a really good spot, and it's just been really fun and I think I learned a lot from that because I was so involved the whole time. I was one of the first, and we didn't know what we were doing in the beginning. Like, we didn't know what direction we were going, and then here we are now, this big company. So I've learned a lot, and then I took that and applied it to some other businesses I've invested in since. And
Can we know what those are too? Can you
yeah,
talk
I'm
about
opening a restaurant
yeah?
on Melrose called Sugar
awesome.
Taco.
those? Sugar
Wow.
Taco,
Yeah.
vegan tacos.
Yes.
Oh, shut up.
With
That's
a
cool.
group of really amazing female like entrepreneurs.
When does that open?
That opens this month.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Oh, that's awesome.
Are they momtrepreneurs?
There is some
There's some
entrepreneurs.
there's some
Nice.
Sure.
momtrepreneurs. There you go.
Yes.
We'll go with that. You are
Yeah.
soon to be a momtrepreneur yourself.
Yeah,
That's
so we're gonna have a really
cool.
good kids menu. We have a menu for dogs. We've
Is
got
this on Melrose?
on Melrose
When
and
does it open?
Poinsettia. It literally opens in the next week.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I want to go.
I'm
It
going to come
sounds
there.
awesome.
Yeah.
By the way, I eat vegan occasionally.
Yeah.
Very rarely.
up?
Occasionally. I
No,
do.
listen, it's we don't even say vegan. It's just it's a taqueria that's like amazing food.
Just come get some tacos.
Yeah,
There
go
it
get
is.
some
I'm coming. I'm
tacos.
totally going
We've
to come.
got
Carly's going to
drinks.
want to come.
Oh, absolutely.
Carly
You
will
have to
come.
bring the girls. It would be so fun.
I would love to.
Wait,
Okay.
Can you explain Pig Out, the
Sure,
main
sure.
product you guys have?
Okay, so Pig Out chips are made of mushrooms. They're chips that taste like bacon. We have 4 different flavors, and
Wait, freeze. They're
yeah.
mushroom chips that taste like bacon.
yes,
How's that
You
work?
had me at bacon, so
Yes.
that's
Wait,
good.
Yes.
do you want to know what they taste like? Because maybe we have some
Oh
right
my
here.
Wait a
David.
minute.
Bring them
You're
out.
Oh, this is
Did
so
you-
exciting! And you have my favorite flavor.
Shut up. This is yours? Look at this. I'm so proud of you. Oh my
Cool?
gosh.
Oh my
Let's
gosh!
try,
Yay!
let's try it. I haven't had them yet, but
You
I
haven't? Oh my
No.
gosh!
Can we
wait.
open these up and have
Okay,
some?
on Instagram, can I get your reaction?
Oh, go
You
for
got
it.
it.
Wait,
Here we go.
which kind should I try?
Those are original.
What
and
do
those
you
are
have?
cheddar.
I want to try both these.
Okay.
These
I have
are-
cheddar.
These are right up my alley.
Okay, what you're hearing right now, podcast audience, are the sound of
Yeah.
bags opening. But I got to open the bag. Oh,
Wait, how
it
do
tears
It's
right
a
here.
tear. It's a
Oh.
tear situation.
Okay,
Where
there we
was the
go.
tear?
See, if you weren't vegan, you could.
Where's the
this.
tear?
No, there's a little. There's a little.
There's a little baby
thing.
tear.
What's wrong with me?
That
For
one
little
doesn't have
baby
one.
J size.
That one doesn't have one.
Oh, you're really gonna go for the
There you
top.
go. He's going for it. He's
I
going
just
for
feel
it.
like
Can I?
it's not gonna happen.
That's not gonna
It's
work.
not going for it. Where's the tear?
This is an
see the
Instagram
tear?
video.
This is great.
There we go.
Oh,
Okay, ready?
Opa.
I'm gonna try.
Yeah.
Trying out. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna try the cheddar ones. You know,
It tastes just like bacon.
it tastes like
Wait,
bacon.
and even the consistency and
That's good. Wow.
you gotta try this. You gotta try this. It's
Cameraman,
weird.
try one.
But even
Outstanding food to
the,
pick
even the
up.
consistency of it is.
Check it out.
I want to try the cheddar.
What's this one?
That's
Hold
weird.
it, hold it back, hold it back.
That's good.
These are pigless bacon chips, you guys.
Isn't that cool?
We have
Oh, I
saved
like these-
so many pigs
I
by
like these
eating
the
this.
most. Both of them are good, but these are my
You know
favorite.
what? They taste fantastic.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go get some more. These are
I'm gonna.
great.
Awesome. You can get them at Whole Foods, Sprouts, Ralph's, everywhere.
Congratulations,
Thank you.
Daniela. These are
These are
beautiful
amazing.
and wonderful.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of you as a surrogate dad.
Oh, I
My
love
God.
it. Thank
Seriously,
you,
these are great.
guys.
I did not know they were.
So you
gonna be
become
this
this amazing investor woman.
Yeah. So
Good
I'm like,
for
I'm
you.
at this point in my life now where, as much as I love acting, I love it so much because I enjoy doing it. And then the second I do something, I take the money and I put it into something else.
Smart. You were raised right, my dear.
Thank you. So my newest project that I literally work on almost every single day of my life is our Kinder Beauty box, which
I thought
is
the Butch Hartman statue. Aren't you working on
of
that?
course. I've
Yeah,
been
the-
chiseling away, like
that
literally
is
my
a-
fingers. It's
Yeah,
next-
just make sure that gets done soon.
I'm trying. I'm working
What
on
is
it.
the other thing, though? I'm sorry. I interrupted.
Kinder Beauty Box,
Oh my
and
goodness.
it's a beauty box that it's a monthly subscription that has vegan and cruelty-free products that are all like approved by me and my partner Ivana Lynch from the Harry Potter series. So it's just like us, chiseling away at
Good
our little
for
beauty
you,
box.
You
and,
guys,
yeah,
I'm so happy for you.
it's been really
Is
fun.
all this on Instagram? Can I follow all of this?
Everything. Oh yes,
Like
please.
Outstanding Foods has an Instagram? Okay.
Absolutely.
These are like really.
And
good.
it's so cool because
These actually are really good.
Yeah.
I'm so glad. Well,
God.
you can do tons with them. We put them on mac and cheese. I put them in Caesar salad. I put them on BLTs, baked
You just use it
potatoes.
as normal bacon?
Yeah. You throw them. Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
your
I'm all over
BLT
this.
is vegan bacon.
It's
bacon,
so
bacon.
good. It's honestly so good.
I'm so all over this. This is so great. I'm so happy for. I'm proud of you.
Yeah,
It says
thank
pigless
you.
bacon is tasty as. I won't say the last word. What's the last word say?
Hello.
It says hello. Well, what else? What other foods can we have that you did you bring any
Oh
other
my
fun
gosh,
foods?
I wish.
brought
Oh,
these.
Jace
By the way,
brought these.
I told him, I said I was running not even late. I guess we rescheduled, so it was fine. I wasn't running
It's all
late.
good.
No,
Okay?
No, it's all good.
No,
all good.
I've told him.
Every
I said,
time
I
I'm
had
with this girl.
I had this photo shoot earlier because I've been starting to promote all these different companies and like it's a totally
cool.
different world now, like not really talking about being on a series is like so different. You're talking about like the business side of, developing plant-based businesses. So anyways, I was there today and I said, oh, they were talking about the chips. I bring them out and I'm like, I kind of wanted to bring those later and they were gone. And so I told Jace, I said, I wanted to bring chips for you guys, but I didn't mean to bring them out and have them disappear. Like all the crew just, boop.
You took the chip, they're gone. But
Yeah.
he snuck out today at lunch.
That was
Where'd you buy these
awesome.
from? Where'd you get them?
Whole Foods.
Whole
I
Foods.
I
We
looked
love
up on
Whole
the
Foods.
website to say like what locations.
Yeah,
There's, like,
yeah.
everywhere around
Oh,
me.
good.
They're everywhere.
I
Yeah.
know. We just gotten to 300. Well, like last week it was 200 more locations. This week it was 300
No,
more.
who? No, you.
just
So
this
you
week.
invested in this.
Yeah.
Who are the people that you're investors? with?
So Bill Glaser is our CEO. He's the one, and it's so funny because him and I were just people who loved Madeline Bistro, the restaurant that Chef Dave worked at. So Bill took a loving to his food, just like myself, but Bill was in a position to, say, Dave, like, we got to do something. Like, either we open another restaurant, you have a product line, something. So
I'm
Bill,
eating while you're talking, by the way,
please.
so you gotta go.
So Bill and Dave are the ones that I partnered with in the beginning, amongst some other investors. A small pool of people came together to open a restaurant, and then we went, Dave's food needs to be everywhere. Like, how do we
Wow.
get this into the mass market? Like, let's grow an entire food line. So this is kind of our gateway to
I am so
hopefully
proud
the
of you. This
beginning
is
of
so
a lot.
exciting.
And how many stores did you say it's in now?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I mean, just in the last few weeks, it's been like over 500 nationwide. But
Wow.
prior to that, I mean, I'm sure hundreds. Yeah.
She's not only the best looking guest we've had, but the most
Yes.
successful guest I think.
That's
we've
right.
had.
I think that's
Big time, I
Thank
think. This
you.
is so exciting. Now, what advice would you give to someone who's in? I mean, I always ask any actor who comes in here. Acting advice, number one, but then there's always the after acting world. I mean, what let's hear what would you tell somebody who's trying not only to get into the business, but let's say someone who's got in, had a little bit of success. What do you advise them to do?
Oh my gosh. The first thing I say is just be so smart with your money. Because the great thing about acting is that it is the most fun job. A lot of elements are very, very fun and exciting. A lot of elements are very scary and low, and you have to understand how to ride those highs and
Yep.
like manage the lows. But in those highs, like just be smart and have that perspective that at any point the rug can be, pulled below you and you may not be able to make rent, And fortunately, I always had that mentality from a young age. I came from like a modest upbringing, and I just feel like I cared so much about taking care of myself and others that like I didn't want to be silly or frivolous. And I
Was
think,
this put into you from your parents, or kind of your parents loved you, but did they have a financial sense like this, or just kind of come up
I think
on
a
your
little
own?
bit, but also I saw struggle and I heard a lot about money struggle,
Yeah.
and it triggered a side of me from a young age where it was like, even if I wasn't working, I was selling candy bars, I was doing lemonade stands, I was piercing people's ears, I was doing anything that I can
my
literally
gosh.
like bedazzling cell phones, anything that was cool. I'm like, I could do that.
Jace, she bedazzles cell
Yeah,
phones.
once upon
Can
a
you
time.
Get your
Do it now?
phone out, Jace. Let's
Listen,
do
you
it
need
now.
some Swarovski crystals here, okay? I need some good quality glue and a toothpick.
Yes.
okay?
Like in the,
Right
movie,
out of the hair.
in the movie Deadpool, Ryan goes, the jeans, don't bedazzle them anymore. They're jeans, not a chandelier.
Oh, I love that movie so much.
Such a funny movie.
Such a good movie.
Anyway, so continue. So what
So
other
no, I
advice?
would just say, really plain and simple, just be smart. Like, you may get some really beautiful looking checks in the mail, but the things that you can do from that, like what you can make of that money is so much more empowering than that like instant gratification. Like, I want to buy, some silly purse or, something that's never going to hold its value,
exactly.
So
And by the way, those kind of things are okay. Just don't let that get you into bondage. Where as far as like you're a spending freak. Oh, the money's going to last forever, because this is a very amazing example. This town is where money doesn't last forever.
no, LA's so
Big checks
expensive.
big checks do show up, but they don't show up forever. We've had some guests in here who've had stories where they were doing great, and now they're working like in a surf shop. Not that
Yeah,
working in a surf
sure.
shop is bad, but they went from X amount of dollars to this amount of dollars, and they've really had an eye-opening experience. So I'm really so happy to hear that you've
Thank you.
turned into
Thank you.
this mega business mogul person.
Thank you.
My
Hopefully
gosh.
more and more and more.
Yeah, it
more
sounds
to
like-
come.
I
Yeah.
love they're
Outstanding
fantastic. Good
Thank
for
you.
you. And so this is
Thank
your
you.
friend designed and made these. Like,
Oh,
it's all
everything.
his recipe.
Oh yeah, he's a
So,
gift to the
what
world.
else can we plug for you? Not that you
Aw,
need us to
thank
plug you, but what
you.
else?
Before we end, can we
Yeah.
talk about the beginnings of Nickelodeon with you, with Victorious? And,
Yeah.
Well, going from Zoe 101 to Victorious. Like,
Yeah.
what was that like?
It was great.
Because that was a Dan Snyder connection,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Well,
So did-
I don't think they knew when
they
I
didn't? Oh,
auditioned for
okay.
Victorious. I don't think they knew that I was ever on Zoe 101, which is funny because I feel like the Nickelodeon world is so small now.
Yeah.
I'm like, how did you not put
Trust
that one
me, there's a
together?
lot- there's a lot
that
happening
goes
over
on.
there.
Oh, and there's
Yeah.
always, yeah.
There's no communication
No,
sometimes, yeah.
sometimes, I swear. So, yeah, I think I had to push really, really hard to do Nickelodeon because I had come off in acting. There's like network series and then there's like cable shows or whatever. And I had always done network shows, which was like CBS, ABC, Fox, all that kind of stuff. And my agent at the time was like, no, that's not how it works. Like, you don't go from like being the series regular on a network show and then go to like a cable show. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. Like, I just want to do this because it sounds like it'd be so much
I
fun.
need to be on Nickelodeon.
Exactly. And so the first thing that I did, kind of went behind their back and did was I went and had a general and tested, which turned into a test for Hannah Montana.
Okay.
So it was me, Taylor Momsen, and Miley, and we.
Oh, you would have been Hannah Montana.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah, so that was like my first taste of like, oh, wow, this is so different than network TV.
Yeah.
Like, we are dancing, we're singing, like everyone's like, it was fun. I was just so excited by the idea of doing anything with like a kids audience. Like that was, to me, was like huge. I just wanted to be in that space. So when that didn't work out, I said, there's no way I'm going back to network TV. Like,
Right,
I
right,
can't do it. That was so much fun. And so Victorious came around. That process was ridiculous because it was like a worldwide search. You could send in some videos, like the sides that they gave us, the material they gave us to read was all like one character. So like every single one of the characters read the same material. So it was kind of like auditioning for a soap opera where it's like you have to cry, you have to laugh, you have to fall on your face, you have to improv, you have to like do all these different things to just like do an accent, like whatever. And they just, it was a process. I auditioned 1 month and probably didn't find anything out for like another 6 months. So I thought that one was dead, but turns out that was a good little
about
ride.
that?
And
Wow.
that had singing and dancing.
You could have been
to it,
Hannah
right?
Montana.
I could have, yeah.
Look at that.
But you know what? It turned out to really like work out. I'm not a singer, And so that was really fun to do on
You
Victoria.
sang on our movie, though. You sang a couple of
Tra-
songs.
traumatic experience.
Oh, really?
Like, yes.
You sang with Drake Bell. on
But
our
it's
songs.
so, like, honestly, those songs make me so happy.
You sound so great on the
I
songs,
had the
by
best
way.
time,
I
even
know.
though I was scared and, like, just, yeah, it was so fun.
Well, if you're someone who doesn't sing often,
No.
it's very scary to get in front of a microphone and then go, okay, start singing.
Oh, it's terrifying.
Very terrifying, yeah. So hopefully Guy Moon kind of coached you
Oh,
through that a little
great.
bit.
Like, the song is so fun. Thank
Yeah.
you, Guy Moon.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Any other advice you want to give or anything else you want to say or plug or just, I know your baby's coming. We're so excited.
Thank you. September.
Do you have any names picked out? Got a boy name, girl name?
I have only a boy
Butch
name.
is a perfect name. I think Butch is a
It's a
great
great name.
Butch is a horrible name. Don't ever give
How
a
about
kid.
your actual name, Elmer?
Elmer's an even horribler
Oh my
name.
gosh!
God, no. I have
But
the
it's
worst name
so
of all time.
memorable. Think about Jace as a kid and myself, like watching
Yes,
TV
seriously.
and being like, Butch Hartman,
Butch
who
Hartman,
are you?
who named that guy? Why did anybody do that?
Why?
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
But no, so you got any names? A boy's name.
I have one boy's name, and then we have like a little list of girls' names. But because I feel like I'm so set on it being a boy, that I'm like, we'll get to those later.
Who needs a girl's name?
But yeah, it's like
Okay.
it's like a family name.
She's not going to tell us.
I'm not going to tell you.
Okay, got it. You don't
Yeah,
have to tell
yeah,
us.
yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you for bringing food.
Oh, I
Actually,
did
Jace
it.
brought the
I did.
food. No, but you
Well,
made
she made it.
Next
but then I
time,
brought
next
it.
time.
I am
we
just
can
so
bring food.
proud of you.
Thank you.
I think it's great that people need to learn how to invest and learn how to, take what money they have and just don't live paycheck to paycheck. It's the worst thing you can do. I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. People do it, but the more understanding people get, more education they get about
Yeah.
financial
And you don't
matters
need
is
to
great.
be an actor. Like, you don't need to,
No.
go out and try and reach for the stars. Like, I tell
It
my own
helps if you
family,
get-
my cousins, sure, of course.
it
if you can
totally
fall into a
helps.
great position like that and
It
win the
helps.
lottery, God knows,
Yeah, yeah.
But no, I prior to acting, even in between any job that was like ending or in between jobs, I was working everywhere I could. I worked at a gym, I worked in a kids club, I worked at a restaurant, I worked selling jewelry. Like,
You are a
I
driven
wanted to
person.
try different things because I wanted to like understand all different facets. And I swear to you, like, had it not been acting, I know that I would have made something work. And I think anyone can live by that motto. Like, you can work at McDonald's, and if you're smart about the way that you spend, I'm not advising that anyone works at McDonald's. Not for the fact that it's McDonald's, just because
Nothing
they're so
against-
mean to their animals.
Exactly.
Yeah, really.
They have salads. They have vegan. They have salads there.
They don't know
Technically-
if they're
the
vegan.
salads too. Like, they're not very nice.
No, they're mean to all of
Yeah,
us.
come on.
Anyways, they'll
You
get
just
their
totally
stuff
ruined our
together.
McDonald's
McDonald's, if you need help,
sponsorship.
just call me. We'll make things happen. No, but you can work anywhere and just be smart.
Absolutely. Well, look, that's great advice. I'm just so blown away. I think this is so exciting.
Thank
It's
you.
so
I'm
cool.
excited for you guys. The studio. I wish you guys could see what we're in. It's like the coolest
It's
place.
like, yeah, this, and by the way, this costs at least $8.
No way.
I'm
Crazy.
serious, like $8.
Oh my gosh,
yeah.
I'll touch it after.
Sparing no expense, exactly.
selfie.
Why had Jason here putting bricks in the wall and painting them all? Yeah.
That's right, yeah,
Thanks,
that's
Jason.
what I- yeah,
Thanks.
that's
That's what I do.
Anytime, yeah.
Multitasker.
Well, this is cool. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm so glad you came in.
I'm so glad. Thanks
I want
for
to talk
having me.
more. If you ever,
I have one more question.
yeah.
Yeah.
What was it like being in Thank You Next?
Oh
Can I
yeah,
ask
that's
about that?
right. Oh,
What is
so
that?
fun. It's
Ariana Grande's music video.
Oh,
Because we
That
had a
was
connection
so
with
fun.
Victorious.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's it's so cool to see her in like such a powerhouse position. Like, the whole production of that music video was like,
and she
It
was
was
on. Was she
epic,
on
right?
Victorious? with
yeah,
you?
she was. Yeah,
And she was just a kid, Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
No, now she's like this massive star.
massive star.
Wow, isn't that amazing?
Yeah, no, it is amazing, but it's, well deserved. Her voice, her talent, like her vision from
Yeah.
the very beginning of Victorious. I've never seen someone be so vision driven. That's one thing that I'm like,
Well,
I'm not
there's you.
so much on like myself, right? Like, I think of big picture. I'm like, oh, well, I see myself, hitting different markers. She was like, this is what is going to get me to become that. And like, from the very beginning, like, took all the necessary steps to be, very, very, very successful.
So cool.
And she kills it.
That's
I'm so proud
cool.
of her.
Wow. Well, we'll get
So
her on
anyways, it was fun.
Let's get her on the podcast
So
if we
fun.
can. We'll
Yes.
never get her on the podcast. Let's try and get her on the podcast.
What do you mean? You just DM her. She'll be like, hey.
Hey, guys, I know your friend Danielle. Look, I got her chips. I got her chips.
I got chips.
Gosh, well, thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
And I just want to say, as your dad,
Yeah.
I'm very proud of you.
Thank you so
and
much, Dad.
I'm honored you came in. Thank
Thanks.
you.
Anytime.
Anything else you want to say to Danielle before we go?
Thank you. Honestly,
That's
thank
it?
you too. This was awesome.
That's what I said.
Aw.
Well, I can add
exactly the same thing
honestly
I
have
said.
so many more questions we could get to, but I think
Okay.
we're.
Yeah. Maybe
Should I get to more?
One more question.
Wait, can I say the funny thing about when I walked in and I thought this is my dad's old office?
Yeah,
Oh,
what
yeah,
happened
yeah,
there?
yeah.
So Butch and I like live in sort of the same area, grew up
Yes.
in the same area, whatever, like the valley, but like north, right?
Right.
So my dad used to have an office in this same exact building, which is like a tiny little, it's not even a big building. It's a one-story
It's
strip.
like a little strip mall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so when I was turning in, I was like, oh, I used to literally hang out here and like I would have a bucket of toys and like be playing in my dad's
So
office.
this could have been in your dad's office.
Here we are.
This could be the Monet.
Full circle.
Oh my gosh! And you said your dad was in sales, and it
Yeah.
was called the sales group.
It's called the
I
sales
love.
group.
I love.
Shout out to the sales crew.
What am I gonna call this sales place?
Right?
He's like,
Ooh.
it was right. It was right. It was right. Do you remember being next to the saddle store?
Yes, of
Wow.
course. Oh no, I
Oh,
remember
you knew
all
that?
of this.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very wild, unbelievable. Well, this okay. Our connection grows deeper.
Yes,
I'm telling
really.
The
you.
mystery deepens.
Yeah.
Well, cool. We'll get back to the mystery later. Well, listen, I'm gonna have one more chip, and as I
Yeah.
eat my last chip, I'll
Yeah.
say thank you.
Uh-huh.
And we're gonna say, will you say roll the theme music for me? Say roll the
Oh
theme
my gosh,
music.
that's so exciting. Roll the theme music.
And we're out.